read what he says. My take additionally is that I find that there's a lot of red tape here in Singapore to get things done. You gotta have permits, more permits. We can't bribe people, so that rules a lot of things out. So in Australia, there's a lot of red tape as well, but people are more accommodating, and they know that especially if we're students, as long as we have the forms filled in, we have all the permits done, and insurance and everything like that, they're willing to say, you're just a student production, but you act like professionals, you have all the paperwork and everything, okay, we'll help you, we'll sponsor you. Case in point, I had to shut down the street for my film, and we couldn't, that's in the CBD area, so the only way we could shut it down is on a Sunday, when there's no traffic around. So, I don't know how we're going to shut down Shenton Way on a Sunday. We're going to trip this, but the producer went through a lot of work and got the permits, got everything, got all the paperwork done, and we paid a small fee. We had police, insurance people standing by, and I think we didn't have an ambulance because we didn't expect any accidents. But yeah. But so we got all the paperwork and everything, and people were pretty accommodating. They were cool, and they were like, "Oh, okay, you student film, yeah, no problem." Shut down the street, and we shut it down for a whole day. He was there to see us, and it was a big production and things like that. And even getting equipment, advanced equipment like cranes and jips and things like that. They're willing to accommodate us and say, hey, students, okay, we'll cut you a deal and so on. But here, I think I doubt they'll do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of red tape in the UK. I'm not sure if people know this, but there's something called health and safety, and it's huge. It supersedes every department in the UK. So, every scene and every day of shoot, you probably have to do a risk assessment for every single thing, like the child crossing the road. You have to write down what are the risks and how do you manage that risk, and stuff like that. It's kind of like working on a construction site. So that's the thing that really gets into me. But apart from that, I do agree with you actually that it's easier to do deals overseas. I think because when there are more companies, more houses, more facilities, you could literally walk in and try and charm people into things. It's really funny. We just go, me and my producer, she's a female, and we just go from one lab to another lab, trying to break down the processing of the film, from by 2 pens or 3 pens, and she would go wait, let me put on some makeup, and then she goes in, smile, and yeah. So in a way, it's probably easier to do deals because there's so much out there, and yes, you do get a lot of help. But the funny thing is this: I think if you haven't got money, a lot of it has to be done by with a lot of determination, with a lot of heart. We had 3 location managers who we sourced, and they were like, oh yeah, I'm willing to help you for free. I know you guys have no money. Let's do it. And they would just come back and say, oh, it's not possible to find a petrol station, not in this country. You have to go to Scotland. You have to go to Wales. You have to go elsewhere. And they would say, there's no way you can find any road in the countryside without hedgerows, and I hated hedgerows. And so it's that kind of thing where eventually it was down to me doing the locations, and being a foreigner, it's really odd. I developed my own way. I started to do location scouting via Flickr. It's the best thing ever. You Google cornfields, and the great thing is now there's this GPS tagging, and everyone just tags exactly the spot where they take the photos. So what I'll do is I go by county. So this is London, and you've got Berkshire, you've got Hertfordshire, you've got Buckinghamshire. And what I'll do is, I'll just Google in one county cornfields, petrol station, disused petrol station, and I'll just mark out locations using Google Earth, and I'll go this is it, producer, today we're going to cover this whole county in 8 hours. So that was what we did. Like, it was literally just doing it like yourself, and everyone was like, "Oh, where did you shoot this film? It looks like so far away. It looks like 5-6 hours drive." But you know, I had a huge road map, and all we could do is 1 hour radius within London, because there's no way, you know, you could do it, because we couldn't accommodate people elsewhere. So basically we couldn't go very far, and everyone tells you it's impossible. But I think with making films without a budget, you know, if you've got a heart, you can make it happen.
I'm actually abroad in Singapore, so I would suggest everyone in the room here take the pictures of the house and tag as well. Then when I make my films here, I can see the locations, and I can and leave the phone number as well. Then I can call you and say, I'm a film student here at NIU. Can I make a film? And I'm sure that after all these complaints, everyone are gonna say, "Oh yeah, just come over." I just started with my other friends from Tish, trying to shoot in Singapore, and yeah, it's hard. But I mean, it's possible. By the end of the semester, when we screen all our films, we say, "Oh yeah, it's possible. There's so many different locations here. It's not that hard for me. What is still hard? It's another culture, that you don't really know the nuances and how subtle it is, and sometimes it's hard to come across. And I mean, coming from South American countries, to feel the Asian, they're not that open as people in Brazil try things, and also being at NIU here, we have all this insurance stuff that in Brazil we just do things you don't need to ask authorization, just say, yeah, you're doing a film here, and people, whatever. Is it soap opera? No, they always ask, is it a soap opera? Say, no, it's not soap opera, it's a film. Ah, okay. And then I think no one cares. But I had a good experience here in Singapore. Just shot a film in spoken Malay. I couldn't understand anything that my actors were saying, but was good in terms of performance and observe in directing then, and observing more behavior, and then be just aware with all the other technical inputs in a film. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave my mail, and then you can now email pictures of your place. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Actually, I had one for Ray Han. You